Hello tea friends, I'm Jesse from Jesse's Tea House, your tea guy, and welcome back to my series on trying out every one of the 7 different teas that are in Sister Ai's mini Tong. These are the teas from Sister Ai's Mountain. She's a 4th gen tea farmer. Every year I go there. Last year I brought my entire tea company tea, and she hosted our entire team for several days as we tried all her teas. And this is the result of that meeting. We picked out a whole bunch of our favorites, put them together into the mini Tong and the big Tong. This is what the mini Tong looks like. A little bit of a refresh. A Tong is a word that is used to describe one of these canisters wrapped in bamboo leaves of 7 tea cakes. During the old days of the tea trade in China, the tea horse road trading route would take tea from Yunnan in China up to Tibet, and they would trade tea for horses. It's not as famous in the West as the Silk Road, but it was another one of these thousands-year-old trading routes that got, goods all over the world. The Tong was the minimum unit of tea that you could buy. Back then they were packed in the same way, except that they would be 7 357-gram cakes. That's 2 kilos of tea or 4 gin, and you'd have to buy packs of 6 of those, which is 42 cakes is 1 basket, and then each horse would have 2 baskets. So 84 cakes of tea is about the minimum you could buy. Nowadays, I've created this thing so that you guys can try 1 sample of each of 7 different types of teas, pick what you like, and if you like one enough to come back and get an individual 50-gram cake, that's great. Or if you want to save money and you like them all, you can get the big Tong. This is 7 times 50-gram cakes. So basically you get the weight of 1 tea cake, but you get to try 7 of them. I already opened one of the Tongs, and we're gonna try the second tea in the series, which is the Sister Ai's Golden Cake Sheng Pu'er. So what is Golden Cake Sheng Pu'er? So Sheng Pu'er, raw Pu'er, is a type of tea that's made in Yunnan, China. It's kind of like champagne. It has to be made in Yunnan for it to be Pu'er. It's a type of tea that you can actually see a video of me on Sister Ai's Mountain making it. You basically take the leaves, you wither them, you roll them, you heat fix them, shaqing, and you go through the entire tea making process to come out with this tea that comes out with a very sweet, but also astringent. It's got like some dry mouth feel, like a red wine. And it's got the most energy of any tea that you can get. So if you're very sensitive to tea, this may not be the one for you, but if you like that pickup energy, you should really give it a try. Also, by the way, if you are sensitive to caffeine, I'm gonna do 1 wash of this. Just do 2 washes. Most of the caffeine washes out towards the front. So if you want maximum caffeine, you can drink the wash, and if you want less caffeine, you can do multiple washes. I'm gonna show you the coin here. This is what it looks like. It's 7 grams, somewhere between 7 and 8 grams. You can see right here, beautiful golden cake. What is golden cake? I didn't explain it. As the teas are being picked, if they have some sort of like more golden, yellowish leaves, or if the tea season is kind of coming to an end and they have like yellower leaves, they pick those and set them aside. They're not so much worse than regular tea leaves, but they do tend to be sweeter, and they don't have as much of the tannin flavor in them as well. By the way, you'll notice that each of these come double wrapped. There's a foil wrap and a paper wrap, and that is because in the European Union, they have high standards on what paper can touch tea products. So in addition to doing 626 pesticide tests on these guys, and we did 626 pesticide tests on every one of the tea coins, what they say in Chinese, chuan wei. Chuan is like to pass, wei is like scent or flavor. Because the tea leaves, 7 of them next to each other, they all have their own scents, they all have their own flavors. If you throw them together in a pile, they'll mix. And I want you guys to be able to experience each individual tea with its own individual flavor. That's another reason why they're double wrapped. Tea coin reveal. You can see why it's called golden cake. The leaves are a yellower, goldener color. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with these coins, this is loose leaf tea that they pressed into a coin shape, if this is unfamiliar with you. Basically, this was the way that they were packed for many, many years, but in larger cakes for easy storage on the tea horse road. And nowadays you can press them into smaller sizes. They're really convenient for on the go, or you throw a couple in a backpack and you just kind of have tea. The key to making these well is understanding that they have an opening period and then kind of a expressing period. In the beginning, you're gonna get a lot lighter flavor, and you need to allow the leaves to inundate and get wet. So we'll make it right here and I'll show you how to do it. Beautiful. If you're wondering, what about the steep times? What about that? Each Tong comes with individual info cards. So you'll be able to see here, here's the Golden Cake Sheng Pu'er card, and it has a steeping tutorial on the back. One of the benefits though of having really high quality tea, it's gonna taste good no matter how you make it. I would say that it has different personalities at different temperature. If you steep things hot, it comes out fast. It's gonna be stronger, bolder, but maybe like a little bit more intense or a little bit kind of like direct. Whereas if you steep it at a lower temperature, you're gonna get smoother, sweeter, but also you're gonna have longer steep times if you want to extract as much flavor out of it. And some teas may not express themselves fully at that lower temperature. But in terms of like burning your tea or having big problems, that comes with bad tea. If you have good tea, it's gonna be hard to make bad. So as I was saying with these tea coins, the first thing to do is to be able to let them open themselves up a little bit. You see here that beautiful coin. While this is opening up, I wanna talk about why is this called the Everyday Golden Cake. With Sister I, we oftentimes run two different like levels of tea. We have our everyday red tea, and then we have the 1,000-year tree red tea. Both of those are excellent, and both of those are in the Tong if you want to try them. But that allows us to be able to separate different price levels rather than saying this is what it is. We're able to say like, hey, we have two different price levels. Those price levels depend on things, for instance, like the quality of the tea leaves, the amount of time and care that goes into picking out and separating the highest quality from the middle from the lower. It can depend on the region that the tea is picked. These are all from Sister I's mountain or from her family around the area. And so depending on those different factors of how much the tea from those different areas are kind of in demand this year, we could have different prices. And then of course, different flavor profiles. So this is the Golden Cake Pu'er. So it's gonna be sweeter than that other Pu'er, and it's usually less expensive. It's already opening up a little bit. Show you the really nice color here. Very light. The normal raw Pu'er is gonna be like a light yellow until it ages. And this is even lighter than that. You can see it's very light. This tea is not going to taste bad. In fact, we got a little hairs floating in there. That's a sign we got some good tea. This is not going to be the most flavorful. The first steep, we do a wash, especially with Pu'er, with raw Pu'er and cooked Pu'er, we usually do a wash. And the reason is because this tea it's not open yet. The flavor is not there yet, and it's going to allow us to advance into the other areas. That being said, if you really want extra caffeine, or if you're just like, hey, I paid for the tea, I'm going to drink it, totally fine. Drink it, no problem. The sweetness is really coming through. If you've tried other raw Pu'er and it's like too intense and it's too astringent, too much tannins, or you're just not digging it, the Golden Cake is a really good choice. I actually think the Golden Cake flavor is better on the whole for the foreign tea drinking kind of palate if you're new. I really like the other stuff as well now that I'm used to it, but this is something that you're gonna be much more used to. It's funny, like right now you kind of only get sweetness. So let's keep going. Second steep. Beautiful tea leaves. If you have a tea coin that you kind of want to open up quicker, you can agitate it. You can see it's kind of coming apart. This may make your tea a little bit cloudier than it would be normally because you're kind of making the leaves break up a little bit, but I think it's okay. Very good. Ooh, it's hot. You're always like, how does he never burn his hands? I filled it too high. By the way, the trick to never burning your hands with the Gaiwan is to not fill it too high. So the Golden Cake is gonna be light. It's gonna be lighter than the same type of raw Pu'er if it wasn't Golden Cake. You still wanna see good clarity though, and we have that here. We have really good clarity, even though I agitated the leaves. You can see the howl, the tea hairs. Look at those little tea hairs there, the howl, all floating in there. That is a good sign. Means you got the good stuff. Cheers. Here's what I'm getting here. It's hard to say if you haven't been to Yunnan, but this brings me right back to Yunnan. So my favorite places like some of the favorite experiences I've ever had in China is like sitting in rural Yunnan at a tea hill, drinking tea, nothing to do except drink tea that day. It's like good vibes. That's what got me into tea in the beginning. And this has that special, kind of raw Pu'er sweetness. But what's lacking is that sort of astringent tanniny flavor that some people really like. But in the yellow cake tea, the Huang Pian, you get less of that. There's like floral scent there. All the tea from Sister I's Mountain, all of her raw tea has like a little dash of lemon in there. I kind of get a little bit of a citrus fruity flavor. It's not as strong as the lemon flavor on the Everyday Sheng, but it's still there. And And I've only had like, you know, 1 cup of this so far, but it's already, we're getting good energy. The raw pu'er has really great tea energy. Raw pu'er is just generally my like get shit done tea. If everyone's like, you know, what do I do if I want to like drink this and get shit done? I wouldn't drink it past 4 to 5 p.m., especially if you're sensitive to caffeine. I am recording this at like 5:30 p.m., so I'm gonna suffer for this perhaps, but I'll do it for you. I'll drink this tea. And also one thing I really like about the golden cake is it's clean. It's very easy drinking. Sometimes raw pu'er, people can think it's like really intense and they're like, I can take a little bit of that, but I don't want to drink like a lot of it. The golden cake's a little easier to drink more of. So you can see after the 2 steeps, that coin is basically ready to fall apart. I think just a tiny bit more agitation and this thing is basically gonna come completely loose. You can really easily now see that they're whole tea leaves that have been pressed into that cake. It really is loose leaf tea. It looks a little bit unusual if you're not used to it, but it really is just really great whole leaf tea leaves. One of the benefits of the Tong is that, like, you know, people ask, is this the right tea for me? Is that the right tea for me? And like, really you gotta try it yourself and give it a shot. Like, you're not gonna know until you've drunk it. So that is really cool. We're getting a little bit foggier now, but I think that's just because I agitated a little bit in order to get the video shot a little faster. There we go, beautiful yellow color. Yeah, there we go. There we go, look at that. Very, very pretty. Look at that. Gold, baby. It's gold, Jerry. Yeah, 3rd steep, much more body. In general, with the tea coins, this is a thing that you'll see. It really does benefit if you steep them. You can go on a real journey. This is something you'll notice with these tea coins. You can throw them in a mug and steep them as long as you want. Like, it's not gonna be bad. You know, or you can put them in a larger pot and serve multiple people all at once. It's not gonna be bad. But if you have the ability to use a gaiwan or a teapot and make these small steeps, you're gonna notice the journey of the tea, the progression of the tea. And that's something that is like, for tea drinkers like me, I look forward to seeing these different teas with different progressions. You might have 1 pu'er, I have a second. They're gonna have different progressions. They're gonna open up and they're gonna express themselves in different ways. This guy is coming out and it's coming out with much more body now in the 3rd steep. That sweetness is still there right at the front, but in sort of the middle, it has more of like a depth to the flavor, a little bit more body. And of course, the best part, and this is one of the things you can tell a really high quality tea from one that's not so good, you have a very sweet aftertaste. A lot of like Chinese tea people, they don't even think about the flavor, they think about what they call huigan, the aftertaste, the after flavor. It stays sweet in your mouth. There's no tea in my mouth, I'm talking. But it's almost as if that fragrance and that scent of the tea is in my mouth. We're getting the fumes of it coming up through your nose. And it's just a very enjoyable experience. And you know, why do we call this gongfu tea? Gongfu means skill, skill in being able to make the tea, and also skill in being able to, I don't want to say taste the tea because, you know, everybody has a tongue. You're gonna taste your tea. I really don't like these people who are like, oh, your palate is not refined enough. You should like this tea, but you don't. I don't think there. When I think about skill in tasting the tea, I think of it almost as like how an artist can take in a landscape and if they draw it, they're seeing the details. They know how to draw the trees and the mountains and the sky in a way that if you're not really either trained in art or you just haven't practiced it, you haven't practiced that mentality, you're not really able to do. If you drink a lot of tea and you do it in this method, it focuses you. It brings you into a mindful experience where it's not just like a drink and this is a commercial product that I'm just gonna bang down or I'm gonna, oh, I have to go to work, so I'm gonna pound my caffeine. To be able to take a couple minutes and make a tea well, go through the several different steeps, experience the different points of the expression as it goes through its progression. You know, really enjoy the color and the taste of each one. This is good practice in the same way that an artist sees the world and they are practicing at understanding the world. To be able to think about the things you eat and drink, to make them well, and to treat yourself like a guest at your own tea ceremony. Be nice to yourself. You know, I don't know about you guys, I put so much pressure on myself. It's not a good thing. Ever since like middle school, I've had to like slow down. Like, you need to slow down, you need to not put pressure on yourself, you need to sit and do something well and enjoy it. Not because you're getting graded on it, not because you're worried other people are gonna say like, oh, your palate is so refined. It's because it's worth doing well to treat yourself well and respect the tea and respect yourself and respect your time. Take your time with yourself, with your friends, with your loved ones, and just have tea. I know this is a tea review and I kind of went off on a tangent, but that's why I say this is my like pick-me-up tea. I just get good energy from the raw pu'er, both the golden cake and the everyday Sheng raw pu'er that's in the Tong. And here you go, you can see the leaves from the golden cake. They're really almost entirely opened up now. I'm gonna pour in one last steep over here. But this is going to do 10 to 15 steeps in this guy one. Pu'er lasts forever. It's a great gig because if you have like, you could have 4 people over and make round after round after round of tea. And like, you know, it's just use that 1 tea coin. If you guys want a Tong, they come in this month's subscription box, in the November 2025 subscription box. I don't know when you're watching this, but you can get it discounted if you buy with the subscription. It's always the best deal on the site. There are 3 on the web in the Tong that have already been on the site and 4 new ones. And to make sure everybody gets more samples of the ones that they have not tried yet, every subscription box comes with an extra 4 coins in it, 1 of each of the 4 types that are not in the on the shop already. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. This is the second of 7 teas that come in that mini Tong. If you like any of them, you can get them as individual cakes or you can get them in the big Tong. This is gonna be available in all of our markets. We have warehouses in the USA, in Canada, in the UK, and in Europe, in the EU, in the Netherlands. And so wherever you get your tea from, if you're in that area, no tariffs, no international shipping, it's in your country already. Or if you're in the US, you will be charged a tariff fee for the US stuff, but the other markets will not have any tariffs. And just very glad to be able to share this great tea with you. We did 626 pesticide tests, or rather 1 test that tests for 626 pesticides on every single one of these teas in here. Top quality stuff. It's really gonna be a great experience if you're interested in tea. Makes a great gift, and of course it's in our subscription. So Sister I is always asking how you guys think about her teas, so leave a comment, let us know. We can pass it on to her, what you think about the teas. If you haven't had them, why not? What you don't even, right? Somebody's gonna be in a marketing class once. They're gonna be like, what should you say to sell the product? And it's gonna be like that's the answer. But they're just adorable mini Tongs. Worked super hard on these guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you wanna watch the rest of the series, you gotta like and subscribe. That's how you'll be able to know that the next video is out. And again, thank you guys so much. I'm Jesse, I'm your tea guy. 多喝茶, drink more tea.